to the Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub. Here's your host, Paul Tipton.
Hey, Vero Nation, thanks for joining us at Caps for Coach's Corner. It's the playoff edition as Vero Beach gets its win last week over Heritage in Palm Bay, 28-17 in round one of the quarterfinal. Defense only allowed 17 points, and that was just the second highest number of points ever posted against the Heritage team this season. They only gave up 98 yards rushing, 114 yards of passing. That kept them below their average on the season. Offensively, we put up 28 points. And as I said, that was the second highest number of points put against the Panthers on the season. Coach, 356 yards of offense on the night with 44 plays. It was a pretty good night for Vero Beach football.
Yeah, I think on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, we did what we needed to do, obviously, to come out on top. And that's at this stage of the game, that is, absolutely the only thing that matters. We had a few special teams blunders in between there. Again, not anything, schematically that we've got to get cleaned up, just a couple individual things that went wrong. But again, it's high school football and those things happen, not just on Friday nights. We see them happen on Saturdays and Sundays as well. But it made for, things to stay close. And obviously we, with those mistakes, what I'm talking about, a couple turnovers on special teams, a punt snap and when you're talking a 48-minute game and you're talking field position and short fields for your opponent, those things are tough to overcome anytime, but much less in the playoffs. So as we dealt with that as it was happening and we're able to come out on top, I couldn't be more proud of our players. Really just hanging in there, staying with it. We had a lot of things happen in between there. Had a big goal line stand. Had a couple drives, had a big score right before halftime to go out in front, and just many things that happened during the course of the game to you look back on, and there's a handful of plays you say, wow, this made a difference in the outcome. Yeah,
looking at the first couple of series, one by us and one by them, I almost felt like this was going to be like one of these defensive battles, like a 10-7 kind of outcome. But yet, as you said, as we got later into the first half, both teams started to figure out a little bit of a rhythm, and I think having that last score right before halftime was so pivotal for the Fighting Indians.
Yeah, we as that played out, we were able to get a stop. Let's do my math. So it's 14-10 at the time, and they had the ball, and we had one timeout left, and so I was contemplating on where to use that if we got a stop. We kept them behind the chains, and I think we had them for a second and 14, and we called the timeout, and on third down we were able to hold them again, and they were able to milk some clock and keep that clock moving to their credit and punted it away. We got a nice punt return from E.J. White, set up good field position at I think it was the 38-yard line, and we were able to score on the second play of that drive, and on the big screen pass from Tyler Aronson to Josh Lansiford, and we were able to go in and score and go into halftime with the 21-10 lead, knowing that we're getting the second half kickoff. Now that didn't turn out exactly the way we wanted it to, but we had we had a great plan and we had momentum going into halftime.
Coach, I thought the play by Lansford was outstanding. This young man, we don't get to see him a lot because of rotation and all the other guys in front of him, but he really, it was exciting. When he caught the ball, the blocks were beautiful. It was well executed, and he just made the right cuts, right time. And I'm thinking, my goodness, where's all this been? But it's hard to put him in a game when you've got Osby ahead, and plus you got Hillsman to get ahead of him.
Yeah. So Josh, he really came on in the Lake City Columbia game and had some great runs, and then obviously, this was a big play, and I couldn't be more pleased. He's a great kid and has had really all season a great season of practice. And like you say, the opportunities when they happen fast. We tell our players all the time to be ready and be ready for your opportunity. And he's just one of those guys that he hangs on to what you're talking about, and it's important to him. And he's a team guy, and he gets his opportunity and he does that with it. So it's again, it puts a smile on your face. Good, really good stuff.
Sticking with that ground game, how about another solid performance by Mr. Osby there? 17 carries, 123 yards, and another 3-touchdown game.
Again, another guy that continues to get more comfortable with what he's doing, and his role has increased as well, and he's taken advantage of the opportunity, and we expected that from Octavian. He's another one that's a talented player, a very hard runner, and continues to get more confident in what his role is as our running back, and again, really good to see, and expect more from him as well.
Tyler seemed like he was in much more control, seemed more poised, and saw the field a whole lot better in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he had some good numbers. I think he was 12 of 16 and over 200 yards again, moving the football and getting it out of his hand. And, even with that, I think there were a couple drops, there in overall. And so those numbers could have even been a little bit better. But, yeah, very pleased with Tyler's performance. Again, he's, leading our offense. He's put to that task each and every week and continues to just do good things. So Tyler's, capable of playing at a high level, and we're going to obviously need that from here on out.
He came out the first series, and he had 2 of those quick outs.
Mm-hmm.
He threw one high and one a little wide, and it seems like he after that series, to me, he settled down.
Yeah.
Did you get him on the sideline, and did you guys talk, or because he only missed 1 other pass or 2 other passes the rest of the game, and one of them was a drop for a touchdown.
Right. No, I mean, Tyler knows he's a tough critic on himself, and we do have good conversation and some good back and forth on the sideline, but he's aware, typically right when it happens where he needs to make his corrections. He's a perfectionist and so. Yeah, I mean, I surely don't need to take any credit for his play after that, but he did come on strong and played a great game for the rest of the night.
Well, it was a win for Vero Beach, 28-17. That means we get to go to round 2, and we'll talk about that opponent a little bit later on in the show. When we come back, we're going to talk to our Scott Sporting Good players of the game. It's Matt Bacon and Chase Stevens. Stick around. More to come right after this.
Cap's Pizza and Pub, a proud sponsor of the Fighting Indians and Christian FM, serving Vero for over 35 years. Cap's offers Italian cuisine, including pizzas, strombolis, calzones, hot and cold subs, plus wings. A family-owned and operated business, John and his staff are happy to serve. Cap's Pizza and Pub, 725 27th Avenue Southwest, Vero Beach, 772-770-2277, or capspizzamenu.com.
Molinari Pools is a proud supporter of Fighting Indians football and Christian FM. A family-owned and operated business, the Molinari family, longtime members of this community. Joel Molinari, a former Fighting Indian, loves serving the Treasure Coast residents, from pool cleaning to repairs to pool remodeling. Molinari Pools. Love people, love pools. 772-778-2633 or molinaripools.com.
Smart, stylish, fly, these are the words of Dapper. Joey's Downtown Dapper, a barbershop that provides more than haircuts. They provide a fun experience with a local flavor. Owner Joey Lucchini is a lifelong resident of Vero Beach, loves supporting local charities, youth sports, and Fighting Indians football. Joey's Downtown Dapper, 2005 14th Avenue, downtown Vero Beach, a supporter of Christian FM.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
A family business for 25 years, Total Golf Cart supports the Fighting Indians and their fans. They're the authorized club card dealer and love to assist buyers to find the golf cart that best meets their needs. They offer both new and used club cars. And Total Golf Cart also has a full service department at 1140 South US 1 in Vero Beach or at TotalGolfCart.com.
The Coach's Corner, presented by Cap's Pizza and Pub.
And welcome back. It is the Coach's Corner here at Cap's Pizza as we get set for round 2. That's Treasure Coast, and it will be a rematch down in Port St. Lucie. We'll talk about that opponent in just a little bit. Last week, we went to Palm Bay to take on Heritage and came out victorious, 28-17. A couple of guys that helped us with that win. Matt Bacon on my left,
Chase Stevens on my right. And you were just discussing, last time you guys were Scott Sporting Good players of the game, I think it was week 1, and it was both of you at the same time. So I don't know. Maybe there's something going on here, guys. But let's talk about that game last week in Palm Bay there. Chase, you guys came out, man, the offensive line was clicking on all cylinders. You opened up some holes, led the way for Mr. Osby with those 3 touchdowns.
Like I said in the first interview, we had a game plan and we executed it. We all wanted to run the ball down their throat the whole game.
And you did. And when we called for it on the passing game, you gave protection. Tyler had time to read the field, assess, find the open targets. Of course, we got to talk to Tutu sometimes a little bit about that drop. We got to talk to him about that. But what was it like on the field Friday night? I mean, this playoff atmosphere, so it changes a little bit from the regular season.
The biggest thing is it's about your mentality with everything. We went over everything that they give us, the 4 front, the 3-2 front. They weren't blitzing a whole lot because I feel like they were scared of our pass game. But it was mainly just D linemen we had to worry about.
And you guys handled it well. Matt, we weren't sure if you were going to be able to play in this game, man. You've been dealing with some injuries throughout the whole season. But as we should expect, that you're going to, if there's any way to be on the field, you're going to make your way out there, man. How'd you get back out on the field?
I was feeling fine at first, before the game, and then a few drives in, I felt a pull again, hopped out, and then stretched it out, rolled it out next to AJ, and went in and it felt fine. And morning after, it felt a little iffy, but that's why we got this week.
Now, near the end of the game, we're ahead by 2 scores. They got this long extended drive that got them down, I think was the 1 or the 2 yard line, somewhere in there. And on 4th and goal, they got to go for it because they need the score, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, you guys got in there. You made a stance. Talk about that play.
I think it was really the whole defense. We all hit our gaps, and whoever got to the ball, we all targeted to the ball. So just shot gaps and hit them hard.
Yeah, and at that stage, I mean, even though it felt like, okay, you're still up by 2 scores, it felt like such another pivotal moment in that ball game. You felt that way?
Yeah, I did. If they scored, it might change the momentum or whatever. We might have a turnover. Who knows? But good thing we stopped them.
Well, thankfully, you guys came up with a big play there and secured the win with 28-17. So round 1 in the books. Round 2 now, a familiar foe, and that is Treasure Coast. So you know what they do. They know what we do. What's it really going to come down to, Chase?
Aggression.
All right. What do you think, Matt? Well, I mean, last time we felt like we missed some opportunities. I'm sure this is what has been the focus on this week, right?
I think it's about the trenches, who's going to dominate in the trenches.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, my friends, and I wish you guys the best of luck on Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. That's Matt Bacon. That's Chase Stevens, our Scott Sporting Goods players of the game. When we come back, we're going to talk to Gary and Coach about our opponent, Treasure Coast, coming up this Friday night. Stick around. Vero for over 35 years. Caps offers Italian cuisine, including pizzas, strombolis, calzones, hot and cold subs, plus wings. A family-owned and operated business, John and his staff are happy to serve. Caps Pizza and Pub, 725 27th Avenue Southwest, Vero Beach, 772-770-2277 or capspizzamenu.com.
Ohana Water Systems is proud to partner with Christian FM. Hi, I'm Mikey, owner of Ohana Water Systems. We've created a technology that takes city and even well water and turn it into drinkable, pH-balanced, remineralized alkaline water throughout the entire house. Our system also protects the plumbing and appliances from hard water damage. No obligation consultations and water testing available. Online at ohanawatersystems.com.
Christian FM thanks Parris Family Chiropractic for their support. Dr. Matt Parris is a longtime resident of Vero Beach and a former quarterback for the Fighting Indians. Just like our Fighting Indians work hard for the win, Dr. Parris works hard for a patient's well-being. From proper alignment to good nutrition, Dr. Parris helps patients achieve the win. Parris Family Chiropractic. When the spine is in line, everything is fine. 299-4649 or ParrisFamilyChiro.com.
Hi, I'm Shelly, owner of Dog Training Elite Treasure Coast. Our family passion is to help the families that come to us create peace and harmony in the home with their beloved family dog. At Dog Training Elite, we're dedicated to helping our clients, along with their dogs, learn obedience, manners, or train to be service dogs. Any size and age, we can help. Online at dogtrainingelitetreasurecoast.com. Go Indians!
Thanks to Roy Bell Grading Services for sponsoring Fighting Indians football and the Fighting Indians post-game show.
Hi, my name is Chase Bell, and my father Roy has served Indian River County in the grading industry for over 40 years. My family and I are proud supporters of Christian FM and the Vero Beach Fighting Indians. Go Vero!
No job too small or too big. Roy Bell Grading Services. We roll the earth. 772-473-4559. Roy Bell Grading Services.
The Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub.
All right, we're back to talk to Gary and Coach Jay about next round. That is the region semifinal. And yes, it will be a rematch with Treasure Coast. Last time, Treasure Coast actually won their first round game over Osceola 28-0. 3 weeks ago, Coach, we faced this team down in Port St. Lucie, lost 22-10. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we could cover, and I'm sure there's a lot of things you don't want to talk about here tonight. But let's talk about Treasure Coast. When you play a team a second time, does that favor anybody in particular?
You know, you being on this side of it, you'd like to think that, you know, you get some advantage, but really and truly, I mean, they've seen us, we've seen them. I think, you know, both staffs have coached against each other, you know, so many different times. Personnel is what it is, you know, and it's only been 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, I don't really think that there's an advantage one way or the other. I think that, you know, they're a good team. And somebody asked, you know, they were good 3 weeks ago. They're going to be good this week. Yeah. And so we've got to play better to have a chance. And obviously when you don't play well, your opponent has something to do with that, you know? Yeah, and right, so that first time that we were at it, you know, they obviously came out on top and had some things go their way, and you know, it was one of those games, and anytime you come up short, there's a lot of things you look at.
Sure.
So hopefully, you know, every experience, we've talked about this before, there's value to all that experience, and depending on how we handle that, I thought that we did a great job of putting that game behind us, coming back the following week against Lake City, Columbia, a very talented football team, and playing better. Obviously, coming out on top this week was important for us. But again, you know, you look at them; they dominate an Osceola team 28-0. So things are going their way as well. Coach Jones and his staff always do a great job. They've got good players, and so I would just expect one of those games that we've had over the last 4 or 5 years that has been, you know, really close and very physical, all the things that you're looking for in a state playoff game. I think the fans would be crazy not to make it out to this game, because it's got the makings of everything that you're looking for in the state of Florida in the high school state playoff series.
You would take a 10-7 win right now, huh?
Oh, I'd take a 1-0 win.
Yeah. And again, it's such a great rivalry. I mean, all up and down the Treasure Coast. Last week I was away game in Orlando, and the game came up about, now you got Treasure Coast again this week, and several of the writers up there and everything, they said, what is it like to have to play them again? I said, well, it's like playing them the first time. We know them, they know us. They just beat us the first game. That doesn't mean they're going to beat us the second game. And I truly believe that's, you know, you got a great coaching staff, and they got a good coaching staff, and you got good ball players, and they got good ball players. And I just think that we got a good shot of winning.
Yeah, well, you know, we said this before too, that every game takes a life of its own, you know, and we can score compare, and we can do all kind of things, and how did we do against common opponents, and this, that, and the other thing, and even in this one, we've played each other before, but you being a longtime NFL guy, know that, you know, you played your division rivals, and you play them 2 times a year. I've never done a statistical analysis on that, but I don't know that any of the situations had anything to do with the game before. You know, did the Browns beat the Steelers the time before, and did it have anything to do with the outcome of the second time? You know, you'd like to think of it. I'd love to, you know, to be able to give you guys or those guys some bulletin board material and hype this thing up. But I mean, again, I really don't think it needs any more hype than it already brings. You mentioned it.
What it tells me? It tells me you got two good programs because here you are. They won the district. They won their opening round. You won yours, and now you're playing each other again. That tells me there's two good teams going back at each other again.
You know what else I noticed, and we've talked about it and debated it on the ranking system, and really from all the classifications on, we wondered. And again, it's high school football, and there's a lot of variables, but. Just within our region, we're the 4 seed and they're the 1 seed. The 1's playing the 4, and then in the other bracket, the 2's playing the 3.
Yeah.
So I guess somebody got it right. You know what I mean? And really throughout, you see a lot of that. There was not a whole lot of big time, surprises, so to speak, as far as the seeding went. So. We're pleased to be playing. We know that we've got a tough task ahead of us. We just got to keep practicing well and let the chips fall where they may. But again, I'm excited to have the opportunity. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for Treasure Coast and their program and what they do. And I've talked to Coach Jones about that, privately. So. Again, it would probably be a lot more fun if I could create some bulletin board material or make up some kind of name for them, and we could call them something and they could call us something and hype it up. But again, I think the game brings what it brings because of what you say, Gary. That I think both programs year in and year out, especially over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, year in and year out, are going to be the cream of the crop and the quality programs, and we get an opportunity to get to square up. So that makes it fun.
That does.
Coach, at this time of the year, you want 2 things. You want your team healthy and rested. Are there any things that you're doing differently at this stretch of the year to make sure those things happen?
Healthy and rested. Well, we're in, I think, game 13 without a bye week. So because our bye week got junked up because of the Gardens thing. So rested, I mean, it's a grind. Mm-hmm. It is a grind. We've talked about that. So I don't know that anybody's, quote unquote rested right now. And healthy, you could piggyback on that. I don't think anybody feels like they did going into week 1. It's a contact sport. It's very, very physical, and our guys play the game very hard. So, but I mean, to your point, you to stay in this thing and make a run, you do need to be healthy and rested, and that's all, I think, relative, because of what we do every Friday night. So we got to get to Friday night. We got to get there, and we got to try to be, both of those things. And that's a challenge. That's a challenge to create a practice plan to play a team like this in the style of their play, to simulate that, to get the practice reps that you need to get, but stay healthy and be quote unquote rested.
All right. Well, game time, 7:30 down there at South County Stadium, right next to the Met Stadium. Our coverage will begin at 6:30 with countdown to kickoff. If you want to get tickets, it's gofan.co. Did I get that right?
You have the kickoff at 7 p.m., right?
It's at 7 p.m.
Kickoff's at 7 p.m. Yes,
I did not know that.
So, so you heard it here first. Kickoff is at 7, so countdown to kickoff will be at 6.
Breaking news. Here we go. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. All right. So we're back to kind of normal here. So, we'll have our coverage beginning at 6 p.m. with countdown to kickoff. And if you want to get your tickets, please do. We'd love to have you down there cheering on the boys. And let's see if we can get ourselves a win here and move on to round 3 of the state playoffs here. And it's going to be gofan.co to get your tickets. Otherwise, you can catch it online, YouTube, ChristianFM.com, or on the radio at 91.9 and 96.3 FM. Hey, for Gary Parris and Coach Jankowski, I'm Paul Tipton. Thanks for joining us for Coach's Corner. As always, go Indians.
Thanks for watching the Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub.